Haunting of Corso was a pretty good episode in my book.
Yep, you mean the Haunting of Villa Diodati?
Yeah, I can't pronounce that, so.
The Haunting of the French Villa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... remember I said that Nikola Tesla was one of my favourite historical episodes?
Yeah.
This episode blew it out the water.
Definitely. Definitely because of the twist, which we're going to get to later. But yeah, what's your overall opinion then?
So for the first half, I was really enjoying it because it was like a proper... It had that proper period feel, even to the point with like Lord Byron, Mary Shelley and all that. They were all speaking in their correct time zones and whatnot. I didn't know where the whole ghost story element was going, and because we all thought that this episode was going to be the Cybermen, and obviously the Cyberman didn't come in until about halfway.
Yeah.
So I thought that this was about halfway through. I lost hope.
Yeah.
And thought, right, this is just going to be a ghost story, which I didn't want to let it get me down about the episode, because I was still very impressed with the way it was written and acted.
Yeah, it was written and done really well.
Oh, it was fantastic, and again, the companions were likable.
For once, no, I'm kidding.
For twice,
they're getting a lot better, the companions, and like my overall opinion is pretty much the same as yours. I didn't give up on the Cybermen because I kind of, at this point, we are getting that whole they'll throw us left field and then do something completely different kind of thing. So I kind of wanted to say I knew the Cybermen would be there. I didn't give up on it because it suited. It was cool. And as soon as we saw the figure above the lake, that looked exactly like a Cyberman.
It did, yeah.
We were like, yeah, it's got to be that. So
the cheer that we had, my God.
Yeah, oh, that was wonderful. But so we actually kind of got things right with that one.
Yeah.
I mean, linking Frankenstein and the Cybermen isn't exactly a hard thing to do.
No.
But it fits, but it didn't fit in the way we expected.
No.
But one thing we did say was the Doctor would give a little bit of a clue to Mary Shelley about how the Cybermen were created, and that would spur on the creation of Frankenstein. And that was done expertly. I thought it was done really well.
Really well.
And the Doctor, we've got to talk about the Doctor.
Oh.
She didn't take anything from the companions this time.
She absolutely what was the line? This team is not a flat structure, it's mountainous, and there I am at the summit, all alone. I was like, Jesus.
That was for me. That was a defining moment for this Doctor.
Yeah,
because now Jodie's getting into her own.
It was her Time Lord victorious speech. Like David had it just before he regenerated.
Yeah,
it's not going to be the case for Jodie because she's staying on for another season.
Yeah.
But that was her Time Lord victorious speech right there.
So me and you both stared at each other in surprise about that. It was so cool, and it's just nice. It is nice to see the Doctor be a bit arrogant, especially this Doctor, because Jodie is quite bumbling and sweet and quite lovely. I've got to say.
Yeah. 100%.
To see her be the Doctor from Demon's Run, the Doctor that everyone's scared of, the Doctor it was wonderful. I loved it. So.
They're finally using Jodie's acting skills, which we know from all the stuff that she's been in are absolutely second to none.
She's incredible. I'm so glad she's getting to like flex her muscles doing this.
Who knows, another series and she could be one of the best Doctors we've had.
I'm terrified if there's another series, because obviously the end of this series is a bit of a tangent. The companions are kind of set to leave, or everyone's expecting them to.
Yeah.
If the next series she has to get a new companion, a singular companion, or just travels on her own, that could be quite a dramatic, quite a dark bit of the Doctor.
See, I've always liked the idea of having a companion that's not from present day.
Ada Lovelace, for instance.
Yeah, Ada Lovelace, for instance. When there was a rumour when Series 11 was starting up that Ryan was actually from the 1960s.
Oh, was there?
There was that was a rumour that happened alongside the fact that the TARDIS was going to have a pet cat. that was a rumour there was going to be a pet cat called Percy.
Oh wow, okay, that's a strange rumour. Who's that? What the?
I don't know.
That's confusing. But the big part of the episode we talk about is the
Cyberman.
Yeah,
the lone Cyberman.
That was, honestly, it's been a while since I've genuinely thought a Doctor Who bad guy was scary.
Yeah.
Even the old Cybermen, I kind of thought, oh, it's just the Cybermen. Right? Now they've remade them, right, and they've made them terrifying.
Yeah.
That half human kind of. So the Cyberman with emotion should be
it's the cyborg element, isn't it? Where you can still see the human that's inside.
Yeah.
The emotional inhibitor was not active,
but
which
it was still sociopathic.
oh,
and,
100%.
It was terrifying. I loved it, and I kept commenting every time when it was on. It was like how big the Cyberman was, how terrifying it was.
Yeah, he was bulky.
Instead of them just being like, I don't know, like our average height for a human, they were huge. So that was really cool to see that they've actually made them bigger, scarier, and more powerful.
It was a really nice touch. Like, you know, it had the laser gun, didn't use it on its arm.
It couldn't
had
for a little bit.
it sort of maybe had the ability to electric shock.
He didn't use his hands. Yeah.
No, he did use his hands.
No, but not in the delete kind of way.
He snapped people's necks, which was dark.
That was cool, and I love the way it tricked the Doctor and the companions with the baby. It left the baby alive to like feign some sort of emotion, and then at the end,
Mary Shelley, Mary Shelley did that massive speech about him having kids, and
he was like, "No."
I slit their throats.
Yeah, that was dark.
That was horrible.
Really dark.
But I think this is the best iteration of the Cybermen we've had. Well, the lone Cyberman. It's Cyberman with a lot of backstory that could be covered in the next couple of episodes as well.
Because where is that lone Cyberman from? Like, which era of Cybermen is it from? Because it's kind of a mix,
all of them,
isn't it? Yeah.
It's got the Cybus legs. The chest plate is the 2012 design. The arm is either human or a little bit of Mondasian.
Yeah.
The other arm is
Mondasian basically is human. Yeah.
The other arm is also the 2012 design, and there's also a little bit of a nod to the whole classic Who because it's got like the tubes coming out of his legs, which was Revenge of the Cybermen, I think. Don't quote me on that.
I think it's really interesting that they made it a time traveling one then. Because that could mean it gets its parts from different eras of Cybermen, but where it originally from is what I want to know. I want to know why he's so angry, why he is still, as part human, he's still so dark as well. That'd be quite cool to see.
Yeah. Right, I can actually give you some backstory to that.
Oh,
because in the trailer, there's a bloke who points a gun at someone. It's obviously not in that aspect of the Cybermen.
Yeah.
It's not where the Cyberman's set. It looks like it's set in like an old-timey place. And from what I read, I think it's the Irish Civil War.
Oh, okay.
So when he said, I slit their throats when they joined the Resistance, I don't think he was on about the Cybermen. I think he was on about the other side of the Irish Civil War.
Because there was, in the war on Mondas, there was resistance groups going against the Cyber Army and stuff like that, so everyone would probably assume that. But if it is to do with an actual
it is, I think,
normal human war, that's really interesting, because then where did he sprout from?
So that's how I think we are gonna get a aspect of storytelling in the next episode, which will be his backstory, where I think his name was Ashad. Ashad, I think his name was Ashad, where he came from and how the Cybermen copped him and partially upgraded him.
I really can't wait.
Yeah.
I so can't wait. One thing that I did know, / the internet noted as well, when I was reading through stuff, is that when the Cyberman was just like outside of the lake, it looked very much like the creatures from Spyfall.
Yeah, the Kasavan, yeah.
Which we did kind of want them to be Cybermen originally. Like, I remember talking to you about that. We thought, is it going to be Cybermen just without their full parts and stuff like that? So, what do you think about that? Or do you have no sort of thoughts on it?
I mean, I think... no, I don't think... I think Kasavan are a completely separate thing.
Well, we did get a promise that the whole Master, Timeless Child, and the Cybermen stuff... This is going to be a big finale. Like these next two episodes,
this is huge.
All of this, the Master still needs to be kind of dealt with a little bit, and how that's going to fit into the Cyberman. That it would make sense if the Kasavan was something to do with the Cybermen.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't. Like you said, I don't think they will. But something to note, I guess. I don't want to say for certain.
Do you think the Master's going to be in the finale?
I hope so. Because the finale, the last episode is called The Timeless Children.
Yeah.
And since the Master set up that plot point, it'd be a bit weird to not have him there.
Very true.
Also, if he's not, that means he's just been chilling in the Kasavan's dimension for a while. What's he been up to?
True.
It'd be nice to see him again. But the next kind of, not enemy of the episode, but something that was quite present was the ghosts that Graham kept seeing.
Oh, yeah. That was a weird
thing about that,
was a weird throwaway line, wasn't it? At the end, after all the serious stuff with the Cybermen, talking about the ghosts. So I think this is dark.
It's horrible.
This is horrible. But I think I saw on the internet that people think that this is Graham's cancer. Because a side effect of a brain tumour, a cancerous brain tumour, is hallucinations.
Oh, right, okay. Are they going straight for the brain tumour route? It's very dark.
That is awfully dark.
Especially considering we had Ryan's grandmother dying.
Yeah.
In the first few episodes, like, jeez.
But Chibnall wrote Broadchurch, so I wouldn't put it past him to do something like that. Something that I thought would be a nice touch is if he left because of the cancer, and the rest of the companions did leave as well. And obviously, when Jodie's about to regenerate into the next Doctor, obviously have that little farewell tour, and she goes to see Yaz, Graham, Ryan, whoever's still alive.
Yeah.
Maybe not Yaz, but maybe see Graham and Ryan, but only Graham answers the door. And
was it Tennant that kind of did a little farewell tour as well?
Tennant did one, Smith did one,
and
Capaldi did one. So it seems.
Capaldi, to be honest, so. I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that last Christmas episode. So.
Have you not?
No, I still haven't watched it.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? I can't. It wasn't on Netflix when I was binging it. So I haven't watched it yet.
Well, he only sort of had Clara to say goodbye to, as well as Nardole and Bill.
Yeah, well, Bill, hard saying bye. But wow. Okay, yeah, the farewell tour idea is really cool, and I do like that. I think,
but then
since it has been a staple of every Doctor.
But then she can't say goodbye to Graham, because
he's
dead.
I mean, she does have a time machine.
True.
But they don't like using the time aspect of the time machine, do they?
No.
Rather than to set up the actual episodes. But the next episode is essentially the Sidemen, isn't it?
Correct.
So what are your thoughts on this? Your little theories and stuff?
So, I think the main MacGuffin, which is the thing that everyone's wanting, will be the Cyberium, which the lone Cyberman has. Which
was just kind of a thing. It was good. That had a nanotech or something like that.
Nanotech. I think that's what's going to be the thing that builds the new Cyberman. I think it's going to be the race against time to get it, and she's going to fail. And loads of Cybermen, because the Cybermen that we've seen in the trailer aren't the new ones. We've seen the lone Cyberman, and we've seen the Cybermen accompany him, but we haven't actually seen any of the new Cybermen in the trailers, other than
the lone one, which technically is it new if it's a mishmash of old stuff?
It's a new design.
I guess
suppose.
so, yeah. But normally every Cyberman get a complete upgrade, pardon the pun.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it or whatever. It's I said to you earlier, I couldn't focus enough to get my thoughts about the last episode because I'm just excited about the next one. So. No,
I agree. It should be fantastic. The only reservations I have was Chibnall did write a war episode called The Battle of Ranskoor Av Kolos, which was the season 11 finale, which was bad.
Oh, right, okay. I do remember that because it was a mouthful when I was reading it. I was like, I don't want to say that out loud.
Shocking.
Oh, no. Okay. But I don't know. If he's got other writers, like the person who wrote the last episode, the Haunting episode, who has been kind of confirmed for the next series.
Yeah, a core writer.
Yeah, which it got quietly removed from the CV or whatever it was on when I saw the theories and stuff on Reddit. But if they're a core writer, then I'm more than happy to watch.
Yeah.
Doctor Who forever.
Maxine Alderton, I think it was.
Alderton. I'm not. Yeah, I can't confirm that. I don't know myself.
It's either Maxine Alderton or Nina Metiva. One of them wrote "Can You Hear Me?" and one of them wrote the other one, but I can't remember which was which.
Oh, okay then. But the next part, after the Ascension of the Sidemen,
Thomas Children,
the finale. But how there's a big link here because it's like a loose 3-part, I guess.
Yeah.
Is this finale? How are we gonna fit the Timeless Children in with the Sidemen, and how is everything gonna come together? Or is that a bit too much of a big question?
So, from all I know, is that Julie Graham is going to play a character in the big cyber war. I can't remember the name of the character. I apologise.
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
Apparently, she's also gonna end up being the Doctor, and there's gonna be, and then the Timeless Children will be Jodie's Doctor, fugitive Doctor Joe Martin, and this other Doctor.
That's great. I just hope we get a solid explanation for why there's more than one Doctor. because so far there's just a bunch of theories at the moment. Like the one you mentioned to me earlier that I did a little bit of research on is the Morbius theory.
Go on.
As far as I know, I haven't watched all of Classic Who, I've got to admit, I'm a fake fan. But the Morbius Doctor was when an old war criminal Time Lord, someone tried to bring him back, like build him a new body using his brain. And then the Doctor challenged Morbius to a battle of wits, like quite literally. Yep. They had to like put their brains against each other. And on a screen that was there, it flashed up the past incarnations of the Doctor at that time. It showed like Pertwee and Hartnell and stuff. But it also showed like 8 other faces. I think it's 8 anyway.
Yeah.
8 other faces of people that were actually just like backroom extras that were just there on the set to have their picture taken. But it showed everyone thinks they're past incarnations of the Doctor. And the theory is that kind of people think it's this Morbius Doctor's coming back. That's why the Doctor doesn't remember them or doesn't really know about them, because it's been a long time since the Doctor has been those people. What do you think about that one?
I can go with it, but then obviously they completely destroyed it by saying that Time Lords only get 13 regenerations.
It was the same year that episode aired as well that they said that.
That was first mentioned in The Deadly Assassin.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, so I don't know, but the 13 thing is kind of out the window anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if this timeless children thing is a being that can regenerate as many times as they want.
Yeah, that's the only way that I could see that working. And then subsequently having those female doctors also work. It wouldn't be too disrespectful to the Hartnell era, because it's already been done. It's already been hinted at in the 70s, but obviously they chickened out last second. But
the chickening out was important though.
Yeah,
that laid the foundations for the 13 regenerations. This is the Doctor's.
And also the fact that the Doctor's Gallifreyan, but we don't know.
What kind of Gallifreyan?
Could be a pure blood. Could also not be Gallifreyan as well. So
I can't wait to find out.
But yeah, so I also recently read that there's 2 different races on Gallifrey. There's the Gallifreyans, and there's the Time Lords. Ooh. And the Gallifreyans are sort of like the paupers of Gallifrey, the normal people. Yeah. They don't have the ability to regenerate.
Oh, okay.
And the Time Lords do. So there must be some form of initiation process to be given your regenerations, which is why I think that regeneration is a man-made process rather than biological.
Well, yeah, they did give Matt Smith extra regeneration, so it must be
which is relating to the Cartmel Master Plan.
Which you know quite a lot about.
I do, yes. So the Cartmel Master Plan was a plan associated with director Andrew Cartmel in 79. It was just before Doctor Who got cancelled for the first time because there was a new BBC boss who absolutely despised the show and refused to fund it anymore. But he had a sort of plan for the story to explore the Doctor's past in canon. And instead, a series of novels were released. There was about 61 or 62 novels, in the sort of span up until the TV film. And one of them, which was called Long Barrow, associated the Doctor with another Time Lord called the Other, and also basically said that the Doctor might not be from Gallifrey.
That would fit.
Yeah. And then there's also this theory, which also goes with it, where they introduce this thing called looming. Looming is basically how Time Lords procreate. They don't have intercourse. They loom. Okay. It's like they physically make a baby.
Oh, so it's very similar to what
it's very similar to like IVF.
On Superman's planet.
Yeah, pretty much.
they didn't have natural births. They had specifically birthing pods.
Yeah, that's the Cartmel Master Plan.
Oh, okay.
So they could go along the lines of that. And if Chris Chibnall's been reading up on his Classic Who, which it shows.
It's mad. He's done quite well with it. So
then that could be a route that he's going down.
I do like that idea. There's elements of it that could fit, elements that I'm not keen on.
Yeah.
But I don't know, with all these theories flying about, it's kind of hard to pin one down that I think would be spot on. And I don't think we are going to be able to do that. The Cartmel Master Plan is probably, or an idea similar to it, is probably what's going to happen. It makes sense, like you said, with all the callbacks to Classic Who. Using an old story thread from Classic Who and something that was planned then would make sense. So I don't know.
Remember we thought it was the 6B?
Yeah.
Well, obviously that's now been discounted because Spearhead from Space, which was John Pertwee's first episode, he came in to the episode wearing Patrick Troughton's outfit.
Oh right, okay.
And also, if there was another Doctor between that, if the 13 regeneration rule stood, David Tennant would have been the one to have the last regeneration, not Matt Smith.
But again, you could write into that the just lost count or something. Doesn't really care. Because there was an interview, I think it was with Kibble, on one of the executive producers, that said they don't really care about Doctor Who rewriting its history. So they could just be completely retconning some old stuff as well, which I don't know how to feel about, but I don't know. I'm just excited. I can't wait.
Same. 2 weeks left. And then we've got to find something else to make videos about.
We'll just stop being friends after that. We're not going to talk after that.
That's it. Done.
The one little bit I did want to mention afterwards, just another theory. It's a very little theory, as in like about 2 seconds worth of talking about. But someone online, I'm not going to take credit for this, I wish I could get the username and stuff, was they mentioned that the TARDIS in the Ghost Monument could have been the wrong TARDIS.
Okay.
Although it wouldn't really explain why it was decorated the right way and why it actually had all the same stuff that the Jodie's Doctor wanted.
Yeah.
It could kind of fit in why Ruth has a TARDIS that's a police box, or something like that. I can't remember the exact theory. I can't remember all the justifications for it. It was quite a long written thing, but the gist of it was that the Ghost Monument TARDIS isn't Jodie's TARDIS.
Okay.
Interesting. What do you think about that? Do you think it's going to be anything like that, or do you think they're just going to stay away from the last series?
No, I don't think they're going to completely stay away from the last series because the Timeless Child was first mentioned in the Ghost Monument. Having not exactly seen the theory and you just sort of explaining it, I can't really see how it would work. Yeah. But it is an interesting theory to have nonetheless.
If I can find it, I will send you it. I'll put a link in the description or anything if I can. But I think it was a really long comment. It wasn't actually a post, so really hard. But having like the episode to link to what goes on in the story does fit with the Morbius theory actually. Because that was a Frankenstein-esque based episode as well.
Yeah.
And so was the Mary Shelley one we've just had. So like if they are doing very, very like clutching at straws throwbacks, that kind of fit as well. The Morbius one would work its way in there. But I don't think it will.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just my very little things that don't really fit anywhere, but so I'm really can't wait for the next episode.
We're in the end game now.
Oh god, how long have you been waiting to say that?
20 minutes.